Hello, everybody. I am traveling this week, so I am having to use my Mac camera. So my apologies for the resolution. It is what it is. So I'm here to do the weekly for April 27th, 2019 for Aries. Cards for week of April 27th, 2019 for Aries. So the big story astrologically this week is that Saturn goes retrograde on the 29th. Pluto went retrograde on the 24th. Now, both of those planets have been stationed for the entire month of April. So you will have noticed a stagnancy somewhere in your life. I feel like I usually don't love retrogrades, right? Because they usually actually bring delays. But because Saturn's in Capricorn and it's like the master of delays, and Pluto is in that energy, I kind of feel like with those two going retrograde, that actually things are going to lighten up a little bit for the next few months. Interesting. There's a lot about dual opportunities and choices. Also in another reading I did beforehand for someone else about which way to go and some confusion coming around. Now the confusion may be because of the shift or the stalling of the planets for the last month. I feel like that will be lifted. I got a lot of, when I was meditating before shuffling the cards, I got a lot of very yellow energy, a lot of third chakra. All right, so some messages. Let's do two more cards for the week of April 27th, 2019. So yes, as I said, if you've been stuck in a state of, I don't know if I should go left or right, I don't know if I should pick this guy or that guy, I don't know if I should stay or go, I think the retrograde of those two planets is going to help us out, right? So I was saying that it's like, when you have to work and your boss is on vacation and it's not like you suddenly don't have to do the work anymore or your goals have disappeared. It's just that the vibe's different. There's less pressure, less someone checking over you. It's a little bit more relaxed. So I kind of feel like that's going to be our energy for the next few months, particularly for Aries, because both of those energies are squaring us. They will still square us, but when they're in retrograde, their power is decreased. So I think we have that to look forward to, finally. Because I noticed even in my own life, situations that, so you'll be able to make whatever's been confusing you, you don't know where to go. Does he love me? Does he not? Is he a liar? Is he truthful? Aside from the fact that you already know deep inside and you should be trusting that, you'll be getting communications that will help clear up the fog, and will help you figure out which way you want to proceed. One more card, please, for April 27th. Or week of April 27th, 2019 for Aries. Okay. All right. So, these are two very different energies. This Eight of Wands and this Four of Swords is lots of messages coming in fast and lots of things to consider. Now, so this one so you probably get a lot of messages coming to you to clear up some of this past confusion. Some of it will match with your instinct. I feel like there's sort of two kind of situations that are going on here. There's one about relationships. I don't know what to do. Do I trust this person? Do I not trust this person? Are they worth investing in? Are they not worth investing in? Are they going to break my heart, or are we soulmates? And then this one is the confusion of the fork in the road, which is that sometimes we can get stuck in an analysis paralysis, which means that we're so busy thinking about what to do that actually we do nothing, and that ends up stopping the energy. And the more we try and think our way out of it, or the more we try and investigate, so even in tarot readings or asking around or talking about it with friends, the more energy that you put onto when is this going to happen just adds more and more pressure to that situation. So right here in the middle, we have this gray wolf, who moves through instinct and moves with the patterns of the moon, and is not actually a rational being. There's a lot of sort of animals. So this whole thing, and it's interesting because you have like sort of the animal instinct and then the very rational swords energy down here. So the swords energy can it can help us clear the clouds, cut through the bullshit and get to the point. It can help us cut away which of these messages is useful and not useful. And it's good to properly reflect on that which we have decided to keep. So, these 8 wands pass through the King of Swords and become 4 swords. So whatever the options that are coming at you, they're going to be reduced by half, which is good. So if you've got 2 men to pick from, it seems to me that which one gets cut out will be clear, because going from the 8 to the 4, since we have 2 of everything here, including, you can see this wolf, he's looking both ways, right? There's 2 directions. So it seems to me that we'll be able to get that message. We'll know which ones to cut out and which ones to move forward with. What I would also suggest is, if you've been in a state of mental activity and it's getting you stuck, that you don't know which way to go, move into sort of a more instinctual behavior. When these messages do come to you, or when you do learn about perhaps actions, you learn about options, what the consequences could be of all of these choices, you'll then make a very wise decision, which will be, because these are right underneath each other. So you want to mix your mental capacity with your instinctive capacity. So don't just think your way out of it, and don't just feel your way out of it. There's a blend of things that needs to happen, and then you get to a point where you've cut these 8 possibilities into 4, and then once you arise from this sort of reflection about, okay, this is what I think I've decided I want to do, that's when you're ready to take action. So it looks like this is a week of pruning choices, of understanding which direction to move in, of cutting out options, maybe cutting out people, cutting out activities, cutting out desires, cutting out plans. I would say maybe if you want like a journaling exercise, free write about whatever it is that you're trying to decide between the 2 of. Free write what your instincts tell you, like just off the top of your head, not thinking, never stop yourself, just keep writing and writing and writing until, or if you're more of a vocal person, you can do one of those voice record things where you just get everything that's in your head without stopping yourself onto something. And then perhaps once you've done that information download, then go at it with the Master Sword. Okay, which one of these is a pro? Which one of these is a con? How do I want to move forward? Now, the 4 of Swords is an interesting card, because actually the story behind it is that It's a triumphant card because the knight, so before the knights went out for battle, they would prepare their own graves, which is a little sad. But it was almost a good omen because if you came back to possess your grave, obviously you were still alive. And so what they would do is they would sit in this where they had prepared as their quote unquote final resting place, and they would take some time to reflect on what has happened. Now, here's those three swords that are up here of the heartbreak, right? And then there's the one sword down here, the new one. So the master sword, but also the ace of swords. So and this seems to have a relationship twinge to it here. So what this is asking is to evaluate what was the cause of these three swords in the past heartbreaks, and what's the one sword you want to take with you going forward, because you obviously can't take all of them. The knight carries his one. So this is a moment of pause and reflection on how we got these three swords on the wall and what we can do to just wield this one in the most powerful way possible, right? And that will come through trusting your instincts, gathering information. Wands are actions, so also pay attention to people's actions. Maybe make a list of 8 things that these people have done or that the situation has done that you didn't like, 8 things that you did like, and divide them up into their pros and cons. That's your 4. Oh, interesting. I love this. All right, so that's a 35 card, so that's an 8, and that's an 8. So you'll get understanding of what this is for those of you who are in romantic relationship or romantic predicaments that you don't know if you can trust the person or not. Mix of instinct and mind. So don't just talk yourself in or out of it. Really trust the path you want to go down and understand why you want to go down it. And then take a moment to reflect on, okay, if that's my decision, how does that enable that that I don't end up putting another 3 of these up on the wall? Okay, so so it looks like you'll get some clarity this week on what needs to stay, what needs to go, which one's the right one for you. Again, release trying to make things happen. But come up with sort of a balanced analysis, I want to say, that combines all of your energy. There's a lot of male energy here on the table, no females. Oh, look. So that's a 13, which is a 4, and this is a 4. So these are very repetitive here. Okay, so these are tight cards, which is nice because at least it's a confirmation of what to do. So pay attention to actions. What do you want to cut out? Use both your instinct and your mind to make your wise choices. Don't get lost in a fog of analysis paralysis, but also don't move without careful consideration. Make sure that whatever it is your plan forward takes into account the errors of the past so that we can try and avoid them. And that's it. Okay, have a great week. I will see you for the monthly and for the new moon reading this weekend.